Welcome back to Forging the Stoic mini-series presented by Hazy Headed, where we are discussing the book Meditations by Marcus Aurelius, where we will be going through book by book, or also known as chapter by chapter, and this is episode 9. So this chapter 9, talked a lot about the relationship with death, and I think it's very interesting how Marcus kind of describes that dance, something that needs to be accepted in a way. I mean, that's pretty self-explanatory, but I think he has a very interesting take on it. So it first opens up with number 3. Passage 3 was very interesting to me, and I just need to go find it here. Don't look down on death, but welcome it. It too is one of the things required by nature, like youth and old age, like growth and maturity, like a new set of teeth, a beard, the first gray hair, like sex and pregnancy and childbirth. Like all the other physical changes at each stage of life, our dissolution is no different. This is how a thoughtful person should await death, not with indifference, not with impatience, not with disdain, but simply viewing it as one of the things that happens to us. Now you anticipate the child's emergence from its mother's womb. That's how you should await the hour when your soul will emerge from its compartment. Or perhaps you need some tidy aphorism to tuck away in the back of your mind. Well, consider 2 things that should reconcile you to death: the nature of the things you'll leave behind you, and the kind of people you'll no longer be mixed up with. There's no need to feel resentment towards them. In fact, you should look out for their well-being and be gentle with them. But keep in mind that everything you believe is meaningless to those you leave behind, because that's all that could restrain us, if anything could. The only thing that could make us want to stay here, the chance to live with those who share our vision. But now, look how tiring it is. This cacophony we live in, enough to make you say to death, "Come quickly before I start to forget myself like them." So you have, obviously, this is a common theme in meditations. You've got limited time. Death is going to come for all of us. But he's almost stating death as a friend. If you read it, it seems a little human. It's like a human characteristic, like how we're going to be born from the mother's womb. Death is going to come to all of us. And the beauty of that, you don't have to spend time with people you don't want to. You don't have to be around fakeness or any sort of ridiculousness anymore. Your death is a swift escape from the superficialness of the world. And I think that's a pretty good way to look at it. It's almost like something, you see these animations where the Grim Reaper comes in and he's this evil, dark person. Well, it's almost like Marcus's Grim Reaper is that buddy that you'd have a beer with at the bar. It's like, sit down, let's have a discussion, let's look at this further, because it's not scary. It is inevitable. It is something that can be seen as a blessing. A lot of times our bodies will start to age and start to hurt, and if you make the best of your life and you make it where you're bettering yourself, you're discovering a vision for yourself, I think death is the later. And if you think about it, if we didn't have death, how much more time we'd have to waste. I think that life is such a gift because it's only lived once, as far as we know. And I think that's a beautiful way to look at it. Maybe next time you start to fear death or you feel a little uncertain, just realize that one good factor of death is you won't be around stupid idiots anymore. In all seriousness, that's not that they're not stupid idiots, but you get my point. There's ridiculousness that goes on, and you won't have to deal with it anymore. All your pain and suffering will be gone. Even if you're happy and you've lived a fulfilling life, death is a way to escape that. So I think that's a pretty cool way of looking at it. Next up was 18. Enter their minds, and you'll find the judges you're so afraid of, and how judiciously they judge themselves. And we actually talked a little bit about this in either book 5 or 6, one of the earlier chapters. And we often judge ourselves so much it's not even funny. We are always thinking when we go into a room, most people, I can vouch for myself, not as much anymore, but definitely when I cared more about what people thought of me, I would go in and I'd be like, oh gosh, what if they think my fucking hairline is clapped? What if they think I'm ugly? What if they think I'm a bad person? What if they think X, Y, and Z? Everyone's doing that. Everyone's judging themselves. So if you can escape the judgment from yourself, you're already a step ahead of 90% of all people, because oftentimes, like, the people that judge the most usually are not only judging others, they are judging themselves, their actions. So that's kind of like a reoccurring mindset you do not want to be a part of. You don't need to be in your head so much. Again, it comes back to the meditations philosophy. Focus on yourself, build up your dreams, build up your aspirations, try to avoid fleeting pleasures, try to stick to true dopamine, true success, true goal setting. Stick that to yourself and everything else doesn't matter. But yeah, that's kind of the highlights I had for book 9. Please stay tuned. This has been a little bit of a shorter episode, but we've got more coming. We've got 3 books left. This has been the batch release series 8, 9, and 10. 8, 9, and 7, 8, and 9. So next is 10, 11, 12, and then that'll be it. This has been a great experience. I've loved it so far. Stay tuned for the rest of the 3 next Monday. Thank you all. Listen to past episodes. Stay up to date on your Hazy Headed, and we're going to keep rolling episodes out, getting guests, doing mini series, trying different things. All right, guys, have a good one.